and climb. Hey, hey, here it goes now. Going to the top, show you what we got. We're gonna fight, fight, we're gonna fight, fight. Going to the top, never gonna stop. We're gonna fight, fight, we're gonna fight, fight. Going to the top.
We have reached the penultimate night of competition at the 2024 Olympic and Paralympic swimming trials, and it's going to be a Saturday night sizzler. Welcome back inside the place they call Canada's fastest pool. Devin Heroux, alongside 2016 Olympic bronze medalist Brittany, MacLean. You've been outstanding this week.
Thank you so much. And the full introduction tonight, I feel honored. It's a privilege to be on the pool deck always, but of course with you, Devin, it's the biggest privilege of my career.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this is where we're at as we get into this promising Saturday night of fast swimming. Tee it up for us real quick, and then we have a special guest.
Yes, of course. We have the 200 butterfly coming up later in the program, but I started with it because it's Summer McIntosh's show. She's the Canadian record holder in that event. We're also going to get to see Finley Knox, who's coming off of his defending 200 IM World Championship gold medal. And guess who called that race? The man, the myth, the legend, Rob Snoek.
Yeah, let's get right
He's
to
going
him.
to come join us.
Right now.
Come
Rob
on
Snoek,
in. Come on in.
like you said, the man with the voice. Rob, you've been outstanding. The whole team has. You've really guided us through some memorable moments this week.
Well, and I'm leaning on Byron McDonald because he's the real legend of swimming and broadcasting in Canada. So it's been fun. I just love being in the fray. That's what I call doing play-by-play. Is you're as close to the action. Well, maybe you guys are a little bit closer here, but we're as close as the action as you can be without being in the pool. And it's been a treat. And the calls have kind of taken care of themselves. I mean, Summer doing her thing with her world records, and it's just some really memorable events this week. I loved watching Blake Tierney do what he did, and not just eke in a spot, but like set a Canadian record and knock down the wall of the Olympic qualifier. And then I met his parents today, and they're just lovely. And
well, they're from Saskatoon.
We never hear what province they're from unless they're from Saskatchewan. And all of a sudden, Devin brings it out. But Rob, I do have to give you an extra kudos because you're always the first to give other people compliments. I saw you a month ago at the Canadian Open. You weren't working that event. You were here to prepare. And I think so many of those hours are not seen by everybody else. So I know you put in a ton of work to get to know this sport, the inside and out, and kind of shifting that back to, you mentioned the 400 IM. What kind of is your mentality going into a race knowing that there could be a world record broken?
Great question.
Wow. Well, you want to make sure you've got your facts right? And I'm going to stand up right now and say I blew it last night in the women's 200 breast when Kelsey Wog and Sydney Pickram were 1/100th of a second apart. I had them the other way. Now, Byron was quick to jump and say, it doesn't matter. They both qualified.
They didn't care either, so it was all good.
You try so hard to have you guys should see, nobody uses binders anymore because everything's online, but I got a binder this thick for swimming.
I still use it written, too.
It's a monstrosity. There's so many events. There's so many with Paralympic athletes, too. I mean, heck, I was one of them, so I know all about classifications and categories and all of that. So that is a real thing, but you've got to just work like crazy to get ready so that you can give the athletes their due, right? Whether they're from Saskatoon or anywhere.
It's a good problem to have that you have to go into an evening knowing there's a lot on the line. There was a time in Canadian swimming where this wasn't the case. How fun is it to be part of this excellence?
Well, you just feel so lucky, right? I mean, you just feel like you want to pinch yourself, and I'm really glad that I'm here at the pool. And with broadcasting nowadays, you just don't always get that opportunity anymore. So to be here at the pool and to rub shoulders with you guys and rub shoulders with parents of the athletes and the coaches, I think it really changes the way you present the game, the sport. That's really exciting for me.
And Rob, I want to ask you the same question we ask a lot of athletes. We have a few months to Paris. What do you do to prepare from now until the games?
Well, that binder gets tweaked, and I literally have a page for every race. So men's 50 free, women's 50 free, all the way up to 400 IM, who won the last 4 Olympics, who were all the finalists, so all of that stuff, it takes so much time to prep it. So that, and then what I did a lot before Tokyo, because I had come from some other sports to swimming, is I literally watched a lot of other commentators from the US, from Australia, from Canada, and just got a sense of how they call it, the rhythm of the call, what people want. But the biggest thing is leaning on your partner, right? And I've worked with you as well, and I think that worked really well as well. But with Byron, he's got so many stories, and there's been a couple times where we've had a little bit of time between events or something, and I'm just like, okay, what story to ask him about? Last night
who did what in 1980 and
exactly. And so you just push the button, and then it comes out.
Right.
So
awesome. Okay, well, speaking of time, we're counting down to tonight, so I know you got to get back in the booth. Can't wait to be in Paris with you. You raise the level every time you get behind the mic. Have a great call tonight.
Yes,
Devin,
we'll be
thanks,
listening
Brittany.
in.
Appreciate it, both of you guys.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
We've got Rob Snoek, of course, calling it. I see Marianne Limpert, the pride of New Brunswick, and, of course, Brooklyn Duthright qualifying, the first to qualify for the Olympics since the great Marianne Limpert. They're all on the deck here tonight, Britt.
Yeah, there's so many fans in the stands and alumni, which throughout the week I've loved getting to reconnect with athletes. Last night I saw Marnie Bean at the pool, so it doesn't matter if you're a swimmer or an athlete from other sports. So many are here to cheer on the next generation of Canadian excellence.
Let's talk about Josh Liendo. I saw him on the concourse minutes before we went live. He has a swagger. I'll never forget. He was a lot younger and a lot smaller 3 years ago when he was preparing for his first Olympic trials. And now he just seems to take up space. It's like you can't miss him in the venue and in the pool.
Yeah, and it's a new confidence with Josh, right? And I think it was Yuri actually that mentioned, he's like, I've just been pumping iron this whole time. But I think Josh has also been pumping iron. He looks double the size he was as a junior athlete, but he's strong. He rides the water really well, and already being under that Olympic qualifying time in the prelims sets him up really nice for the final.
Just a quick note about Summer. She's had a full day of rest. It took it really easy this morning, and it seems like she's going to be ready to go tonight. Who knows what we could see? The world record is crazy in this event.
Yes, but we've learned that we can't bet against Summer, so we will not put that completely off the radar. Canadian record, though, I think is something we can maybe chat about. That time 2:04.0 that she set within the last year. It could be in contention having her had another day of rest.
All right. You also quickly mentioned Finlay Knox, world champion a few months ago, and he's brimming with confidence.
Yeah, and he had a really solid 100 freestyle earlier this week. He also won the 100 breaststroke individually. All of those are preparing him for the 200 IM. This is his big race, and this is the one he's been waiting all week to get to swim.
I'm trying to keep it together right now because we're getting splashed.
Yeah, we're in the moment. You're a part of this environment. The athletes are warming up, but it's their preparation that is the focus. We're just here to have fun.
Listen, it's going to be extraordinary once again here tonight. Night 6 at the Olympic and Paralympic trials. We start at 6 p.m. You can watch it live on CBC Sports and CBC Jam. We'll be right here guiding you through it, talking to the athletes. As always, buckle up.
Paris in the summer, where hearts turn to gold. It's going to be a wild ride. Everyone's invited from the city of light, the city of love.
Catchberg lets it fly. Gold for Maggie McNeil.
And CBC and Gem have you covered. Coast to coast to coast. To the hot Paris sun. The world comes alive in a global act of unity.
Julia Grosso to win it for Canada. Canada gold. Nobody will catch him today.
Cameron Rogers, the world champion.
It all begins July 26th.
This is a performance for the history books.
Find the light and you'll feel the love. Be the love and you'll see the light.
Here comes DeGrasse, accelerating. Gold for Canada. It is Summer McIntosh.
Summer's gonna be poppin'.